We have left Act 6 at the most tragic moment. The four progenitors have awakened. Four pairs of empty, icy, furious, and hateful eyes are staring at their creator. The command, kneel, was ignored. Hong's arrogance has shattered. It has realized its horrific mistake. It did not create slaves. It created four disobedient copies of itself. Now, the final act of the epic begins. The act of consequences. The act of destruction. Our epic continues. Act 7, The Legacy of Hunger. Chapter 12, The Failed Creator. The space of the void was breathtakingly silent. 5 immortal entities. 5 beings standing outside the grand Tao's cycle. 1 creator. And 4 first creations. Hong's great arrogance, after a moment of shattering, quickly reassembled itself. But this time, it was no longer the smugness of an engineer. It was the wrath of a rejected monarch. You ungrateful things! Hong's intent roared, no longer a command, but a threat. I granted you immortality. I saved you from oblivion. I am your master. It stretched out its consciousness, a cosmic power, attempting to force the four creations into submission, trying to break their will as it had done with other gods. And then, the first reaction occurred. It did not come from Hou Qing, hatred, the smartest. It did not come from Ying Gou, fury, the one who hated masters the most. It came from Jiang Chen, the empty one. The elder god, the stone machine, did not care about this battle of wills. He did not understand what a master was. He did not understand gratitude. His empty mind only recognized one thing that Hong's blood of immortality had activated: hunger. And he, as we mentioned, was staring at the wound on Hong's chest. The wound that was still oozing that shimmering silver-gray blood, the primal immortal energy source. To Jiang Chen, that was the meal. That was satiation. That was his sole purpose of existence. And while the other 3 progenitors were still in a battle of wills with Hong, roar! Jiang Chen, the hungry one, acted. No warning. Not an ounce of hesitation. The stone giant, with unimaginable speed, lunged straight toward Hong. His target, the bleeding heart of the creator. Hong, for a second, was stunned. It, the ancient god-beast, just got attacked by its own creation? It raised its hand, by god-beast instinct, to block. Crash! The collision of the 2 immortal beings shook the entire void. It was like 2 galaxies colliding. Jiang Chen was repelled, but unharmed. His elder god body was incorruptible. Hong was also unharmed. It was immortal. But it felt pain. And that collision, O listener, was the signal shot. It broke the stalemate. Kill the master. Ying Gou's crystal soul, fury, screamed. Seeing a subordinate, Jiang Chen, attack a superior, Hong, the tragic memory of betrayal surged. He did not attack Hong. He attacked the very concept of authority. His corpse, riddled with wounds, charged, not with brute strength, but with perfect combat skill. His fingernails, now reinforced by resentment, hard as diamond, aimed straight for Hong's joints, for its eyes. All of it must die. Simultaneously, Han Ba's shriveled corpse, Agony, stirred. She did not charge. She simply existed. She opened her mouth, and a silent scream, a shriek of pure agony, radiated outwards. A wave of scorching, desiccating energy slammed into Hong. The breath of spring, now the breath of death, tried to suck dry Hong's very source of immortal energy. And finally, the most dangerous one. Hou Qing, hatred. He did not move. He merely stepped back, standing in the shadow, the demonic smile still on his lips. He observed. He watched Hong fighting the 3 other creations. He analyzed. He saw that Hong was stronger than any of them. Hong was the source. They were merely copies. Hong could easily bat aside Jiang Chen, dodge Ying Gou, and resist Han Ba's agony. But Hong could not destroy them. And they could not destroy Hong. Hou Qing realized this immediately. This was a pointless war. An eternal game with no winner. Fools, he whispered in a hoarse voice, the first word of a juncture. You are wasting resentment. We do not need to win. We only need to leave. He did not want to stay in this void. He wanted to return to the three realms, where there were gods for him to take revenge on, where there were demons for him to mock, where there was life for him to destroy. And while Hong was busy pushing back Jiang Chen and Ying Gou, Hou Qing looked around. He sought an exit. The void is a prison without walls. How to escape? Yes. By creating a crack. Hou Qing, the brain of the group, issued a command. He did not speak. He channeled his intent. Jiang Chen, you are hungry. But the meal is not here. The meal is beyond. He pointed to a random space. Smash there. Jiang Chen, in his hunger, did not differentiate targets. He obeyed the stronger will. He roared, turned his back on Hong, and focused the entire power of an immortal elder god onto the very wall of the void. Crash! Hey! The void, where nothing but Hong and the Grand Tao had ever existed, for the first time, was torn. A small crack appeared. And through that crack, the faint light of the mortal realm, the echoes of billions of souls, flooded in. Jiang Chen roared. He smelled the feast. Hong, realizing what Hou Qing was doing, shrieked. No. Stop. You belong here. You are mine. It lunged to intervene. But it was too late. Hou Qing smiled. Goodbye, Creator. He channeled the final command. All of you, go. We have left Act 7 at a horrific moment. Jiang Chen, obeying Hou Qing's will, has torn the wall of the void. A crack has opened, leading straight to the three realms. Hong, the creator, in its rage, has lunged to stop them, but it is too late. Its four creations, its four great failures, are about to spill out into the world. The plague is about to be unleashed. Our epic has reached its final chapter. The chapter of legacy. Chapter 13, Finale. The Four Plagues. Go. Hou Qing's intent resonated, not as a command, but as a release. The first one to rush through the crack was not Jiang Chen. It was Hou Qing. He, the demonic brain, knew that Jiang Chen was a blunt instrument. He needed a safe exit. He lunged into the crack, his mist of hatred enveloping his rotting body, and he vanished. He did not appear in a noisy place. He chose a dark corner of the mortal realm. A night market, an alley, a graveyard. He hid. He was an intellect. He would not rampage. He would propagate. His legacy is infection. The second one to rush through was Han Ba. She was not fleeing Hong. She was fleeing herself. She lunged into the crack, desperate for anything other than this cold void. She fell into the middle of a lush, green rice field in the mortal realm. And instantly, the tragedy recurred. The field, within a mile radius, burned to ash. Life was sucked dry. Her pure agony, now amplified by Hong's blood of immortality, had become a passive weapon of destruction. She wailed. And she began to run. She became the drought demon, a mobile calamity, eternally fleeing herself, and eternally bringing death wherever she set foot. Her legacy is desiccation. The third one was Ying Gou. He, the furious one, was the only one who fought Hong until the last second. He roared, his diamond claws grazing Hong's god-beast skin. But seeing Hou Qing and Han Ba escape, his sense of order arose. He could not win. Therefore, he would retreat. He lunged through the crack. He did not fall into a field. He fell into a human fortress. And the first thing he saw were guards kneeling before a city lord. The sight of subordinates kneeling before a superior. His betrayed loyalty exploded. Master! He roared. And he massacred. He was not hungry. He was not hateful. He was simply punishing. He punished the existence of authority. Anyone who commanded, anyone who obeyed, was torn apart by his claws. His legacy is chaos within order. And finally, Jiang Chen. He was the one who opened the gate. And he was the last one to pass through. He roared, lunging through the crack, his colossal elder god body shattering the fissure wide open. He fell into the middle of a dense forest. And his hunger erupted. He did not care about order. He did not care about pain. He was only hungry. He began to eat. He ate the trees. He ate the rocks. He ate the animals. But they could not satisfy him. They had no lin. His hunger was a soul hunger. And then, he scented them. The humans, the living beings carrying brilliant lin qi. He began to move. He became a moving machine of destruction, an eternal vortex of flesh, consuming all life in his path. His legacy is consumption. The 4 plagues were unleashed. The 4 first Jiangshi species. The 4 progenitors. Hou Qing, the infector by intellect. Han Ba, the destroyer by agony. Ying Gou, the punisher by fury. Jiang Chen, the consumer by hunger. And Hong, the immortal god-beast, stood alone in the void, next to the tear its creations had just left behind. The wound on its chest was still oozing blood. It, the one who wanted to correct the Grand Tao's mistake, now realized. It had corrected nothing. It had only created a greater mistake. It had created beings that craved the very thing it scorned, life. It had created a species defined by an eternal hunger, a hunger for life essence, a hunger that Hong had inadvertently instilled in them from its own emptiness, its own arrogance, and its own solitude. This is Hong's legacy. It did not create immortality. It only created a death that never ends. And our story concludes. Not with a victory, but with an eternal warning. A warning about the arrogance of those who seek to play God. A warning about the price paid when one attempts to bend the laws of nature merely to satisfy one's will. Those 4 progenitors, O listener, they are still out there. They roam the shadows of history, spreading their curse, creating descendants, turning mortals into creatures like themselves, trapped between worlds, neither living nor truly dead. And we, the finite beings, the mortals who always crave eternity, who always fear death. Do we not, in the deepest part of our souls, when we curse our finitude, repeat the very desperate roar of Hong?